Guys, this is insane, and it is my biggest unboxing ever. Alright guys, so I'm going to just take each of these cubes out of the box and then just show them to you one by one, because this is going to be a really long video, and I don't have enough storage, so I'm going to try to make it as quick as possible. Alright, anyways, let's get right into this. Alright guys, so I'm just going to start with the non-puzzle products. So here is 10 cc's of Lubical Silk, which came free along with my order. Here is a Cubicle sticker, which also came free along with the order. Here's the Cubicle's business card, which again looks very nice. And here is a Speed Stacks bag, which should hold quite a few cubes. I'm really excited to use this now to go to competitions. I would also like to note that I did order 2 new Cubicle mats, the nice sort of different colored mats that say TheCubicle on it. They did just come out, and for some reason they didn't come with the order, but that's okay. I should get them soon, and I'll hopefully include them right after this clip if I do get them within a few days. Alright, so let's move on to the actual puzzles. Okay, so this unboxing will mostly just consist of non-WCA puzzles, but here is a puzzle that I also got for free since my order was over $150. That is before the discounts and stuff. But this is the GAN 356M. It is not the newest puzzle, but it is still a really good puzzle. I've never tried it before, but I've heard some really awesome reviews about it. So let's get into how it turns and the accessories that come along with it. Alright, so the accessories include this normal big GAN pamphlet, another GAN bag, and some GES nuts. Wow, it's been a while since I've seen these. Now I'm going to note that I'm not going to go fully into all these puzzles since that would make this video really long. But I'm just going to do a few turns and tell you what I think of it. Now I did hear that this puzzle is sort of like the GAN X, so we'll just have to see for ourselves. Alright, here's the puzzle, and let's give it the first turns. I noticed right away though, I do like the black internals, and it is fairly light. Alright, first turns. Oh wow, okay. So it's a slight bit papery soundy, but you can definitely feel the magnets. And I don't think this is the standard version since it comes with the GES nuts, and it is like $42 or $43. So this actually sort of feels like a downgraded version of the GAN 11M Pro, and I've never had the X or the XS, so I don't really know how those feel, but this feels like it could be something like that. So yeah, it actually turns super smooth, and it's very controllable. It's the perfect speed, and I do think it needs a little bit of lube, but just so the pieces won't sound too dry. It turns super well, but I think it's pretty good for its price. I'm not going to go into what the GES nuts do. You guys can just watch another video for that. There are way more in-depth videos, and I don't want this to be too long. The corner cutting is about 45 on stock tensions, and triple turns. So yeah, it's a really nice cube. I'm not going to main it though. I do like the GAN 11M Pro, the RS3M, and the X-Man Tornado V2M a little bit more than this, but it still is a very good cube. Definitely still up to today's standards. And it's crazy that I got this for free. Alright, so next up we have all of these YJ puzzles that I got. And I guess we'll start off with the YJ Fortune Cat since it's kind of the most unique one of the bunch. So this is a cat, if you can't tell, and it is very loose out of the box, but it is so cute. And it honestly doesn't look crazy messed up when you mess it up. It's still sort of like a ballish shape. So I feel like this would be pretty easy to solve. It's sort of an obvious shape. It actually turns really well, but it is a bit loose. And it's a bit catchy, but that's to be said with all of these pieces that branch off. But yeah, it's really cute. And yeah, so this is the YJ Fortune Cat. So next up we have this sort of translucent YJ Star Barrel. And I noticed if you do one turn like this, you can't turn it like this. So it's more like a square one. How you have to do a double slice, and then move. So this will be pretty interesting to solve. And the colors are actually really nice. It turns super smooth, although it's a little bit dry and papery. And then there are these 5, which are all very similar. And that is that they all have this sort of glittery look on them. Don't know if you can tell in the camera, but they sort of like glitter all over them. This is the YJ Apple, and I got the green one, but there's also red. It turns, I don't know, pretty smooth. I mean, it's a little bit tight, but it's just a random toy puzzle kind of thing. This one does look like it'd be pretty hard to solve though. All the pieces are pretty similar. It's kind of hard to tell which goes where. And then this is the star. Oh, well there goes the center cap. It turns kind of catchy, but it actually looks really cool, and it's got all these little details and features on it. And then the same goes for these two. This is the diamond. It's got all these little details and different faces on them, and this looks like it'd be really hard to solve. And actually, this one turns pretty smooth, but it looks like it'd be very, very hard to solve. And then here is the heart, which is really similar to the star. It's very tight, but then they also have these really thin layers right here. These are all 3x3 shape mods, except for this, which is a 2x2 shape mod. But yeah, here's the heart. It's actually pretty cool. And then this is the YJ YuanFang. This actually turns probably the smoothest of the bunch, probably because it has fewer pieces, and it's really cool. It's almost like the Windows logo. This should actually be a pretty cool solve. And so this is how the checkered pattern looks on all of them. This looks really neat. It's very jumbled. And then the apples looks hardly messed up at all. I think this looks kind of like a ninja star kind of thing, almost like a pine cone actually. And this kind of looks like an apple. So these look really cool in the checkered pattern, and if you're going to get these, I would like to note that they do catch a lot. So they're kind of just like decoration puzzles. Yay, now I have another animal. Now they can be friends. And I actually have 6 more to come. Alright, so next up we have some FanXin cubes. So starting off, we have this FanXin Basketball 3x3, which is just a shape mod of a 3x3. Here is the center, and then the edges and corners and so on. This does look a little bit difficult to solve, just because so many pieces are similar, although maybe that could make it really easy, because maybe this could go here. The turning is very stiff and clicky. It's actually really cool how it has the perfect texture of a basketball. This will be a pretty interesting solve, although I don't think this is really what a basketball is supposed to look like, but whatever. And then here's the FanXin Nautilus, or Nautilus. I'm not really sure how it's pronounced, but it's kind of weird. It's not really like a normal cube. It turns in these 3 layers right here on this one axis, but then it's also sort of like a square one, how it only has 1 slice layer. But this is the only slice layer. It can't do it right here. So it's kind of weird, but then if you turn it a little bit, you can slice it again on this layer. So it's a little weird. It almost looks like a snail, and the turning is very, very stiff. But I don't know, it's more like a decoration kind of puzzle. I think this looks really cool. It's like a really neat rainbow. It'll look cool on the shelf. And then we have these 6 Dinosaur cubes, and I just absolutely love these. Like, you cannot go wrong with these. They're so cute, and just look at them. Like, the colors are so wonderful. They're gonna look so good together, just all sitting along side by side. These are all 2x2x3s, so it turns on this axis, this one, and then these 3 right here. The turning is a little bit stiff, but that's okay. It's literally just like decoration cubes. They're all just so neat, and it looks like it'd be a pretty fun solve. It's sort of an obvious shape that they go into, so it's not like it's gonna be that hard. But especially on like this one, the turning right here is super stiff. Maybe it just needs a little bit of break-in. But geez, just look at these. Like, you cannot go wrong with these. These are so cute. But really quick, don't tell the other ones. I think this is the cutest. Just look at this plump little thing. Oh my gosh, I love these. Oh, I'm gonna have so much fun with these. Alright, so now we'll move on to these 2 ball cubes I got. This one is the ShengShou rainbow ball, and basically there's 1 empty slot, a little foam thing in the middle, and then you push 1 ball in and move it to the next spot. It's kind of hard at first, but with a little bit of break-in it gets a little bit easier. This shouldn't be too hard of a solve. It's just sort of swapping them around and maybe doing a few commutators here and there, but this should be really simple, and it actually looks really neat too. Then this is the YuXin Earth 2x2, and it actually turns super well. I'm actually really liking this cube. It's a ball, obviously, just like the Earth. It's not flat. Just the design and the details are so neat. I'm just really loving this turning. Look at that. It even has incredible corner cutting. Like, what kind of shape mod does that? Alright, so yeah, this is really neat, and it looks like it'll be a pretty fun and easy solve. So now we'll move on to some neat little QiYi puzzles that I got. So starting off with the one with the unique shape, we have the QiYi coin Pyraminx. It's basically a Pyraminx, but it has this little rotating circle right in the middle. And this is actually really neat. I really love the clicking sound each turn makes. It's super satisfying and really smooth. It can turn on all of these corners right here, and then you can rotate each of the centers like this, and rotate this again. So it looks like it'll be a pretty fun solve. I'm actually really excited to solve this. It has little white primary-ish internals, and this seems like it'll actually be a really neat puzzle. And so then we have the QiYi 6 spots cube, which is literally just an Ivy cube, except instead of the football shaped center, you just have a circle center. So So yeah, it just turns like that. I'm really not going to go deep into this because you probably all know what an Ivy Cube is. But yeah, it's a corner turning puzzle and it always takes a center with it. It only takes a few seconds to solve, so it's super easy. And so yeah, that's a QiYi 6 spots cube, and it actually turns super well. I really love the clicky mechanism, and the shades are also really nice. And so then I just got a QiYi Fisher Cube because for some reason I do not have a Fisher Cube after all of these years cubing. This turns super well, not really much to say about it, it's just a 3x3 shape mod, except everything's shifted, I think 45 degrees. So here's the center, the edges, and the corners. You can make checkerboard pattern like this. Doesn't really look like checkers because everything's shifted. But yeah, it's a neat little puzzle, and it's honestly really fun to solve. Turns really well too, and it actually doesn't feel quite as dry as the others. It's only $4.99, so you should definitely pick one up. They're super fun to solve. And so then we have the QiYi Fluffy 3x3 for the last QiYi Cube. This is just a 3x3 shape mod, and guys, it's literally just a 3x3. Like, nothing's different except the pieces are a little bit squiggly. So it turns exactly like a 3x3. The turning is very catchy, and some of the pieces are sharp. So yeah, you might want to watch out for that if you get it. But overall, it's just a fun little puzzle to have. It adds a tiny bit of a challenge because the turning is a little bit more difficult, and it's maybe more of a sort of optical illusion for newer cubers. So yeah, this is a really neat puzzle, and I'm excited to try to speed solve on it. And so now we have a few neat little MoYu puzzles. So to start off, we have this MFJS Pandora cube, which, like the QiYi Fluffy 3x3, it's just literally a 3x3, except each piece is shaped a little different. So you have the corners, the edges, the centers. So it adds for a little bit of challenge. It slows you down a bit because it's very catchy, and it really catches on your fingers. But it's just a really cool pattern, and it almost looks like a cube. So this will be really fun to solve. I have a few 3x3s like this that are all just different details and design. But yeah, this will be pretty fun. It's just a simple 3x3 just with different pattern and different shape pieces. And so then we have the two MoYu puppet cubes which recently came out, and these are honestly super weird. I don't know which one is which. One of these is the version 1 and one is the version 2, but they're so weird. On some of these, you can turn it like this and then rotate the inner pieces. So this is really scary. I am not going to attempt to solve this. I don't know if anyone has ever solved them. They're super weird. They're almost like bandaged. It's kind of like a 3x3 just with extra big caps on some pieces. And in some places it looks like a 4x4, some places a 2x2, some places a 3x3. My mind is honestly blown. Like, how did they come up with these designs? This is so cool. And the turning is actually pretty good. It's a little bit dry and stiff and slow, but for this kind of puzzle, it's honestly surprising. So moving on, here are some Lefun cubes. This is a 2x3x3 pie cube, so it's like a barrel. This rotates, it won't mess anything up, but then these can rotate right here, and beyond that you can't turn anything. Let's maybe do this. Nope. But you can actually turn this. So really weird. Then you can rotate the inside sort of. So yeah, this is really weird, but the turning is very stiff, like most Lefun puzzles are. But this is really just for design. Having all the same color like that, this should be really easy to solve. And then this is basically just the Fluffy Cube. It's the Lefun Venus Cube. It's just another one of those weird pattern shaped 3x3s. All the pieces are super weird. And whenever I first turned this before, a lot of the pieces were catching up and a lot of things wouldn't move. And I also really like the dark color scheme. I don't know, it's kind of neat and it's kind of ominous and scary. But yeah, it's a neat little puzzle, although it's very stiff. It'll just look cool. It's another one of those weird turning 3x3s. And then finally we have this Deformed Centrosphere 3x3 or whatever it's called. I'm not quite sure. It's a long name. But on the outside it's like a 2x2, so you have to solve the outside just like a 2x2. But then on the inside it has this third layer that turns. It kind of reminds me of the MoYu Puppet Cube. How you have that third layer that turns without turning anything on the outside. So it is just a 3x3, like, as you can see, it's messing up the inside like a 3x3, but the 3x3 sort of has an outer shell on it, so the 2x2 also has to be solved at the end. Super weird, and it's very catchy, because a lot of times you don't really know where your fingers are going with these different shaped pieces. But yeah, it'll be pretty fun to solve, and I'm kind of excited, although this pea color green is really weird. Okay, anyways, let's move on. Alright, so finally we've come to the last 3 cubes of this unboxing. So we'll start with this one. I don't know why I didn't include it with the other YuXin cube. I kind of forgot that this was YuXin. but this is just a mirror blocks. It's just, you know, one of those normal older mirror boxes. I ordered gold, but I'm honestly kind of glad it came in blue, because this looks really cool. It's like a sort of deep water blue, and it looks really, really neat. You can't really tell in this video as much. The lighting's kind of weird, but yeah, it turns really well. It's just a YuXin black Kirin 3x3, just a mirror blocks. So yeah, this will be pretty fun to solve. So finally, I have these two CubeStyle cubes. This is a Penrose cube, and it's about time I got my hands on one of these cubes. They've been out for quite a while, and they were made by Nathan Wilson. And yeah, it's just a 3x3, except on two of the sides it's rounded off, and it's like that on all three of the axes. Yeah, this should be really, really easy to solve. It's only 3 colors, and it's kind of easy to know where the pieces go, I think. So yeah, the turning is quite dry and stiff, but honestly, that's fine. I doubt I'm really going to speed solve on this. And finally, we have the CubeStyle Twist 3x3. I've been wanting one of these for so long, and I finally got my hands on one of them. It's just a 3x3, but it's twisted. Like, how cool is that? Like, just look at that. It's so weird. It's like an optical illusion. But yeah, the turning is kind of stiff, and it's very catchy. But look at that edge piece. Like, you can't go wrong with that. So yeah, this is a super neat puzzle. I'm super glad I finally got my hands on this. It's going to be really fun to solve, and I cannot wait. Once this video is over, I'll be solving all of these. It's going to be so fun. Alright, yeah, so that was the final cube. Wow, that took a while. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Sorry if it was a bit long, but that was so many cubes to cover. That is officially my biggest unboxing ever, 31 cubes. And we are even missing 2 things, the 2 mats. So honestly, if I had gotten those, I don't think I'd be able to fit them all in frame anyways. But wow, this is so many cubes, and I finally got my collection up to 314 cubes. So that is Pi cubes. I might have to celebrate that with something. Leave a comment down below if you have any ideas. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much to TheCubicle for making this video possible. I literally could not have afforded these without them. So make sure to check out these cubes if you want any of them down in the links below. And also check out TheCubicle.com. They have amazing cubes, amazing prices, and amazing shipping. Also amazing customer service. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.